Hey guys, it's your boy here, and I wanted to make a killer perk build for you guys. These killer perks are going to be really unusual, but I find that they work very much for this game. So yeah, here we go. Okay, I'll be giving you guys 3 builds that are the best build for killer right now. They might not actually be the best, but these are pretty viable builds that I've not seen anyone run. So if you like the build, just give me a thumbs up, like and subscribe. I have like 20 followers. But yeah, here we go. Alright, so the first perk that you want would be the Call of Brine. So Call of Brine, after damaging a generator, this perk becomes active for 60 seconds. So this perk is really good just when you go and you kick a gen, when you don't want to really chase anyone. You just go up to that gen, they run away, you kick it, it starts to regress by 200%. So this perk is really good. If you're tired of gens going so fast, this perk is really good for that, because you can just hit that gen and you sit there for like 10-20 seconds. It'll regress about maybe like 10% of the gen already. So this will help if survivors want to gen rush. The next perk I would recommend for this unique build would be Eruption. So what Eruption does is, after damaging a generator, it becomes highlighted in yellow, and then when you down a survivor, it loses 10% worth of progress and starts to regress. But here's the kicker: if there's any survivor repairing that generator and you down someone, they will suffer from the incapacitated status for 25 seconds. This means they can't do gens, they can't do actions, they can't heal. So if you just want something to keep like survivors busy for about 25 seconds, use Call of Brine, you kick the gen, and then Eruption also stacks on top of that. So, it stops survivors from doing the gens too fast. Alright, so this next perk might be an iffy one, but I want to try it anyways. I don't know if these perks work so well together, but it seems to me when I play them in game, it really helped me. So I hope this one helps you guys too. And this perk will be Scourge Hook Pain Resonance. So there's 4 random hooks that turn white at the beginning of the game. They're called Scourge Hooks, and their auras are in white. And when you hook a survivor on one of these hooks, it regresses by 15%. So if you hate survivors doing gens really fast, but you like chasing people, this is like a really good perk for you. So if you don't like when survivors are doing gens that are like, maybe they might be like a distance away from you and you don't really want to make your way over there, you can just find like the nearest survivor, you can down them, you can put them on one of these hooks. The generator will instantly regress by 15%. This will really help slow the gen speeds down. And last but not least, there's one other perk that really, it synergizes really well with this build. This last perk really helps stop survivors in their track, because I don't think these 3 will be enough to keep survivors off gens. But if you really want to add like a little spice to your build, you want to run Overcharge. Now what Overcharge does is, once you kick a generator, the next person or the next survivor that touches that gen gets a skill check. It's like a hard decisive strike skill check. They instantly lose 5% of their progress if they miss that skill check. Not only that, but if the survivor doesn't come back to that gen, the regression goes from 75% to 200% over the next 30 seconds. So let's say the survivor got a gen up to 90%, right? You go up and you kick that gen, it instantly loses 2.5 from the buff that killer got. And then over the next 30 seconds, it'll regress from 75% to 200%, so it will help out with gen patrol a lot. And even with these perks, you guys might still lose like all your matches just because gen speeds are just so fast nowadays. Even though they nerfed the gen speeds by 10 seconds, I feel like the gen speeds are just still too fast. So this will be one of the builds I'd recommend to stop gen speeds, because gens just go too fast. I feel like we can't play the game with the gen speeds at their state now. That was our first build, and now it's time for the second one. As you can see, the devs, they've been wanting us to use different builds since the update, because they changed many of the perks. As you can see from these perks, there's 15 on each page. Let's see how many perks there are. 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90, 95, and 97. So there's 97 different perks that we can use for our next build. And this is another viable build for Killer right now. This build is really good to, it kind of slows down the survivors as well, but slowing down survivors is what we want. So our first perk is going to be Call of Bryan. Call of Bryan, like I said, it regresses generators by 200%. It's so hard to not have it. I'm putting this back on my perk build because this perk I feel like is really needed, especially for this build. And then my next perk I would suggest would be Eruption. Gen speeds are just kind of too fast. You want to use Eruption to stop survivors from doing the gens too fast. It's gonna really help with your game slowdown. Alright, and then for this third perk, this is a pretty decent perk in my opinion. I don't see many of the community use it. I've probably never seen it in any of the builds before, so I'm pretty sure this is gonna catch everyone off guard. But the perk I would recommend for the third perk would be Scourge Hook, Pain Resonance. So this perk, like I said before, you can hook one survivor on this hook and it will digress the most progressed gen by 15%. And that's just a steal. It's really hard not to run this perk because this perk is just too good. The instant losing of 15% progress, and it will start to regress by itself. So even when that survivor gets off that gen and it's like at 90%, throw that survivor on a hook, it'll start regressing. Pretty simple. And for this next perk, this perk is kind of one that I've seen like here and there, but it's not used too much apparently, especially now with the patch. I haven't seen this perk too much, but I just want to throw in this build just to mix things up. And that perk will be Overcharge. So like I said before, what Overcharge does is when you kick a gen, it instantly loses 2.5% of their progression. And then when survivors, they come tap the gen and they miss a skill check, they lose an additional 5% of that gen. This is my perk build when I want to play really sweaty and I just want a 4K all the time. These perks are definitely going to help with that. Gen speed slowdowns are your best bet to winning Dead by Daylight as Killer. Nowadays, even with the gen speeds nerf, the gens just go by way too fast. I'm super glad these perks were buffed because it's like a different build to play with, and I don't see many people run this build, and I'm hoping this video will show new killers like what's the best perks to run. I'm hoping this second build is gonna help you killers out there. If you don't want to play too sweaty but you still want the game to go slow, you can go ahead and throw on these perks. You don't need to really slug anyone, but it's okay to slug people too, because it just means the match takes longer, and that's what killers need right now. Alright, and then for this next perk build, I just want to throw all these perks on at once so that you guys can just see what I have up there for this next build. I think this build is also underutilized, especially now that the patch is hit. These are just some different builds for you guys to try out, especially since the new patch is hit and survivors are just a bit too strong. I want to help you killers out. So what you want for this build is Call of Bryan, Eruption, Scorch Hook Pain Resonance, and you will never guess what this last perk is. Thanatophobia. That's right. I know Thanatophobia is another perk that I haven't explained on this video yet, but I'm gonna explain it right now. So each survivor that gets hit and are in the injured state, it gives a penalty 5.5% to a maximum of 22% to repair and sabotage and cleanse totem speeds. That's just insane. This just adds to them doing gens longer, and that's what we need right now. You know, Thanatophobia is up there. This is a different build that I wanted to show you guys just in case Overcharge wasn't working right for you guys. Maybe you guys would like Thanatophobia better. Maybe if you're a nurse and you like spread pressure, Thanatophobia is the way to go. Maybe you're a hit and run killer like Wraith, you can use Wraith with Thanatophobia. He can hit survivors and then he can just leave them injured. It stops them from doing gens faster, and that's what is needed in the meta right now, even with a 10-second speed duration increase for the gens. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you guys tried these 3 different builds out, let me know. Let me know if you guys liked it. I'll make another video. Maybe I'll make more underutilized build for you guys. My killer mains out there, I'll see you on Dead by Daylight. I want to see all the builds being used. I want to see them in matches. I hope that you guys have a great time with it. And for survivors, if you're dealing with like a build like this, it's okay, just move on to the next game. It's just holding M1 on generators. That's pretty fun. Just let the killer chase you, and hopefully you get tunneled out of the game. Thank you for watching my video, and I'll see you guys next time.